So be ready to turn the key loose, because just that handle, when you pull it up, you're opening it. So if you pull it by the handle, you're unlocking the door. But because it cranks so fast, just be ready to let go of the key, because it's like a lot of cars, they'll sputter. This don't sputter, it's just running. He's smiling. Well, listen, your sunroof works right here. Also, there's a vent on the cowl. You reach under there. You've probably been in a car before that had a handle for the vent. You got one of them.
That's your air conditioning.
That's your air conditioning, yeah. I figure those windows need to be oiled up a little bit.
Still go down further?
Yeah, they go. That's one of the things on my list to get around to one day, is to pull them doors apart and all those windows up.
Just got to hang my arm out.
Huh?
I just got to hang.
You got to hang your arm out, right?
I love it. It's so much nicer than what I had in mind.
Well, you know, it looks real good in my garage.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Ronnie said yes, nothing to it. If you take it to a upholstery guy, he'll just do all his thing and.
Yeah. Yeah, this car, actually it is nothing to it, because this is wood. These cars were made with the wood kind of in place, so literally they can do all this. The upholstery you got in here was made by Mike.
Well, this is nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. I've told you the seat wasn't adjustable, and I hope you can reach the pedals okay. Yeah. The steering column is adjustable. You can raise and lower it and do all that. But yeah, this would be an upholstery dream right here. All these windows roll down. There's 6 windows, and they all roll down. So you can probably oil them up a little bit. You might have noticed you got 60 pounds of oil pressure going. All the gauges work, including, this is a new speedometer he put in here when he built it. So whatever that says for mileage, that's how many miles he put on it, you know, in the process of building it. Mike was big into skulls. He's noticed there's a lot of skulls on it.
Just lights.
I think that's, yeah, that's lights. Take her down the road.
It's low. That oil pan is low too, so just be careful to move over.
You want me to ride with you?
Sure, get it.
Got seat belts if you want to wear them. Now, little tiny mirrors. Of course, big mirrors are going to look something ugly on there, but you want to probably adjust them, you know, to whatever makes sense for you. And you can see that big old truck behind you, I'm guessing. So we don't want to. We would hate to put a scratch on his truck. You're clearing his truck, so you're good over here. Swing it out there in the grass anywhere you want. I think you're a neutral.
Man, I'm gonna have some fun with this thing.
Yeah, you are. This is a great car. I wouldn't be scared to jump in this and drive it right back to Jacksonville instead of messing with the trailer.
I'm sure get a lot of attention with it.
You sure would. You'd be the coolest cat in the neighborhood.
Yeah, once you roll, it's easy to steer.
Yeah. Yeah, you do your steering while you're moving and you won't have any problem. If you try to stop and then turn it, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. If you really wanted to, you could put a bigger steering wheel on there too. That would help some, but you don't need it. I mean, it actually drives good going down the road.
Just one of these deals where you just keep it full of gas.
You know, the gauge works, but the sending unit was bad. The gas tank is on here. I gave mine 40 years ago, and he said I ought to pull that tank off for the sending unit, and then it would get off. He carried a little stick, you stick in there. You know, that's what he used for gas gauge. We think it's uncommon. They used to do that. But if you want to, you know, have somebody pull that tank off, you can. Sending you fix it. Or if you just want to do it, you know, I may want to send some gas in there. Because it's high, fall, it's going to feel high. Maybe.
Just some of these things you got to get used to. You get in, you got to get used to it.
That's right, you do.
We got a hot rod.
You got a hot rod.
We do.
It's a road car. This has that R400 4-speed automatic with overdrive, so I mean you should be able to, you know, go down the interstate at a pretty decent RPM, not like my Rambler, which is running wide open when I get up to about 80. This one, you know, should cruise down the interstate pretty well.
We have a cruising on every third Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I figured, you know, Mike was sick the last couple of years, and he didn't drive it much. I got it. I've had it a couple of years. I didn't drive it much, and then they brought it all the way down there. So, you know, as good as you are about detailing the car and everything, you have this thing shining like a new diamond pretty quick. And then it's going to be even more cooler. It's a beautiful car, and if you think about it, this car's been painted for 15 or 20 years. It's not a new paint job. Doesn't have any clear coat crap on it. It's real paint. These flames are Mike did all this paint job himself, and if you notice, he's brush stroke the flames on it with a paintbrush. I mean, you know that's how precise and good he was at all this kind of stuff, you know. Yeah, you gotta make a turn before you get to it.
Not too many. I didn't buy this thing, the hot rod.
Yeah.
A lot of cruising and showing it off.
Well, I like a hot rod, but I also like a car that'll get me back from the show without breaking down, you know? And this is that kind of car. You know, I've got that little roadster that I got is really close to the ground, and it's, you know, I can swing it in the curves hard and burn rubber with it. This car isn't any of that, but it's a whole different bit of pleasure because it's a driving car, or you can pick up your girlfriend in and take her to the drive-in and all that.
Yeah, I don't have that console here to lock her away.
You just have to rest your arm on her leg, you know.
Got it.
Got a bench seat, baby.
Lay down and see, honey. Put your hand right there. I like the way they did the radiator. You can't get to the cap over here.
Yeah.
It's over here. That's pretty neat.
That's Mike's design.
4-speed automatic.
Yeah. So nowadays they have all these TV shows about how to build hot rods, but this was built in the old days, in the old school way. And they don't sell this, you know what I
Original.
mean? You get one built like this. I got Mike's obituary up here in the dash. I'm gonna let you have that with it so you'll know who built it.
Well, you used to use mirrors.
Yeah.
Sweet ride.
You know, you can put bigger mirrors on it. It's just a matter of taste, what you like to have on it. That's the original mirror right
Just
there.
gotta get used to it. I don't want to take too much away from what it looks like. What's all the red flags for?
My internet.
Oh,
They have to come out here and mark everything before they do any digging. So the white flag is for Elberton Net, the red flag is for hard EMC, and the orange line, I don't even know what that's for.
well, they told me one was gas.
Yeah. Now these door hounds go up, and everybody gets in here, pushes that down, and starts slamming on it. And when it's down, it's locked.
Love it.
You can get a better car than that, that's for sure. You want a hot rod.
You know, Ed was telling me stuff about it. I said, I haven't seen except just a few pictures. And I said, I pictured some deep dish chrome wheels on it. He said, it's got them.
Let's
go Traegers.
Yeah.
I said, you're kidding. He said, no.
Yeah. Well, the early pictures, when I got it from Mike, he had those spun aluminum,
Oh, here's the
like
moon.
he had like a dry lake racer moon wheels,
Moon
yeah.
caps or something.
And I put these on it.
I never liked those.
Now these are porter walls, and if you don't want them, you can take them off because there's good white leather tires underneath here. But, you know, back in the 50s and 60s, we did porter walls, but those are Mickey Thompsons. So if you decide you'd rather have white letters, you let the air out of that and just pull that out. And the same up there. These are Kragers. Those are Rocket, I think. And the Rocket wheels had aluminum centers. No, these are Western wheels. And these centers got, that old aluminum gets pretty crappy looking. So I sprayed that with plastic coat. And then I put the paint on top of that. So if that ever, you know, if you start scrubbing on that, you probably scrub the plastic coat off, and then you'll have to figure out what to do about that. But you can, you know, polish up the chrome part and just wash the other part.
Ronnie, you want to drive it?
I'm sure I'll have plenty of time to drive it. Would you run? Did you get it, put it on the asphalt?
Yeah.
How fast you get it up there?
60.
This doesn't have a,
What the heck is that?
that's your overflow tube for your radiator. This is where you fill the radiator, and your overflow comes in and out of here.
They're all plastic now, Bill.
Oh yeah, all the little plastic bottles, yeah. This doesn't have a cover on the flywheel, but I was looking at and you don't need one, but you know, since everything else is chrome, for like $35 from, I think, Speedway or someplace like that, you can buy a chrome one. And I thought, well, got a lot of chrome in there, it might be nice to add a little more, you know.
Absolutely will.
Little by little.
Yep.
You know, it's the kind of car that's things you can do to it to make it your own and to make it, you know, special, more special for you.
What was that light lit up with ignition a while ago?
It's like it powers the alternator. On an alternator, you need a light. You need some power source to make it start charging. So when you start this, that lights up. Is it lit? Now you can buy a one-wire alternator and do away with that. But I don't think. Mike built this car 20 years ago. I don't think they had one-wire alternators 20 years ago.
No, but see, it's got a, like, it's no different than like the spiking alternator to ignite it. I mean, to get it going, it's got to have some kind of drain for it to say, "Hey, I need to charge."
Right.
So all he did is put an incandescent light in it, in line, and it just so it feels that it needs to light that light up, so it'll charge for you.
And nowadays they make a one-wire alternator, so you don't need that, and you can get a chrome alternator. Let me show you. I'm building an engine for the Rambler in here. And if you choose to go down this road, I'm looking for my chrome alternator. Here it is, right here. See, you can get one of these, which would actually be a nice addition. You pick it up. I'll take it out there and show it to you. You know, that'd be and like I've got a chrome water pump sitting up there, and I got chrome pulleys, and that's all stuff you can buy. And it's really not super expensive. I mean, you know, all of that stuff is fairly reasonable, but that, you know, that would be the kind of thing that Bill could add himself.
He could do that, yeah. Well, I mean, we could put the water pump on it.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so you can buy that stuff now when this car, that stuff wouldn't have been available when he built this. Mike spent 20 years building this car. But now, like, I've got a chrome water pump, and I got that chrome alternator, and there's a whole bunch of stuff you can buy, put on there to make it even more so if you choose to.
Well, I will.
I'm sure you will. You'll make it your own.
It's got a 4-speed automatic.
It's an R400.
You need to write all the stuff down. It's got a Camaro rear end.
10 bolt. This is actually a Rockney, even though Studebaker made it. Newt Rockney, they appointed him president of the company in 30s. He was super famous. So if you read the nameplate, you'll see it's listed as a Rockney right here. He died in a plane crash the next year, so they made this car for 2 years. There's a whole Rockney club, Studebaker Rockney Survivors Club out there on Facebook, and then there's another one called Studebaker Butchers where they make hot rods out of Studebakers. But there's all kind of specialty clubs that go to, you know, these cars. There's a few little imperfections in the paint, but like I said, that paint's been on there 20 years. And to me, to have paint that old that still looks this good is kind of that's kind of special all to itself, you know.
Darn right. Say somebody did it.
That's Mike did that. He did all that. I'll introduce you to Mike here. That's the man right there.
He was pretty young.
Yeah. He didn't live an easy life or a gentle life. I mean, you know, Mike smoked like a train, drank all the beer he could find. He was a welder, a metal worker, a painter all his life.
6 years old.
That's yours.
Oh.
He breathed all the fumes. He ingested all the metal. He said they couldn't do an MRI on him because he had so much metal in his body he'd pull him apart. He's one of them old school guys. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't no sissy either. They was giving him chemotherapy, and he worked overtime every day during chemotherapy building snowplows. Wouldn't even take a day off. I never knew anybody to do that. Worked till he died. This has a manual fan, but it doesn't work when the switch is off. But if you're in traffic and you're not moving, you can just kick that on and then turn that fan on for your airflow through your radiator.
Let's watch the temperature.
Yeah. Y'all ain't ate your lunch yet.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did? Okay. I thought it's in the bag in the truck there.
Well, where do you go to find your parts?
Well, if they're rear end parts or brake parts, it's
Just regular Camaro.
88 Camaro rear end. Your front wheels are GM.
Doorknobs.
Those you ain't gonna find. And you got one doorknob where I took some people for a ride in it one day, and they broke this off. These doors open by pulling them up, and for some reason nobody expects that, so everybody slams down on the doors and starts banging on them because they can't get out, and when you push it down, you're locking the door. So somebody along the way broke that, but then somebody else fixed it, and then I gave some guys a ride to the car show, and when I got home, this was laying on the floor, but that fits.
Still there.
Yeah, it's fixable. Like it had some super glue on it, so it's savable.
Put it back in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be fixed.
Yeah.
Nice seats.
Yeah. And them back windows roll down too. That little T knob.
Yeah.
You turn that, and those windows will go down. I got some Buddy Holly and some Patsy Cline CDs if you want to have something to listen to on the way home.
I thought were you driving it?
No. That's a shame right there. That little bit of stuff. But this, that was a beautiful paint job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Now, what will you do? Write me a bill of sale?
Yep, I got the tag slip and all right up here in the dash. There's a bunch of paperwork up there. I think it's in a plastic bag. So when you're ready, we'll just sit down and write you up a bill of sale. And it's insured for $20,000 through Haggerty's.
That's who I'm gonna get mine.
That's who you're going to get it with. So
Got the Corvette with.
where this car is already with them, they probably have, well, I know they're going to have it on record if you tell them who I am and what the car is.